We are live.
All right.
Heather
Hi.
from Community Makerspace.
Yes.
What's going on?
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I am with the Community Makerspace with Rural Action, and the Community Makerspace is a really cool social enterprise of Rural Action. Rural Action is a nonprofit organization here in town in Athens, doing work in surrounding counties as well, all related to environmental justice, sustainability, creating livelihoods for folks using the wonderful natural resources that we have here. And there's so many incredible programs within Rural Action, from environmental education to sustainable agriculture, sustainable forestry. And then they have social enterprises, which are a kind of interesting juxtaposition between nonprofit and for-profit. So a social enterprise, the goal is not only to make money, but to simultaneously have a mission that we're working towards. So at the Community Makerspace, we are focused on waste reduction and upcycling and using resources in our community that already exist. So we're really fortunate that we have a lot of really creative folks here that have things like fabric and paint and brushes and craft supplies of all sorts that they no longer need, and they need a place to donate that or a place for it to go that's not the landfill, right? Mm-hmm. And so they can bring that to the Upcycle campus, and not only do we take craft supplies and things to create things, tools as well, but on the thrift store side, we can take all types of housewares, clothes, all kitchen things.
This is on High Street. Where is this at?
This is at 751 West Union Street.
Oh, okay.
And within our campus is also the Zero Waste program, and they are a program within Rural Action that helps to recycle mattresses and appliances with refrigerant in them and film plastic and other things that are hard to recycle typically. And we're working on expanding that. And Rural Action has worked to acquire the building, and we're working towards trying to raise some money to create a center for hard-to-recycle materials there at 751. So essentially we could take almost anything and find a way to hopefully keep it out of the landfill is the goal. So that's one of our key missions, of course. And then the Makerspace is also oriented towards skill building, helping entrepreneurs to build their businesses and their craft. We sell consignment items from folks that make things, and we kind of give them like their first retail space that's really friendly and easy to interface with.
That's the thrift store side of the 751 location, you're saying?
So this is in the Makerspace.
Oh, okay.
Still, yeah, the consignment. And so
the Makerspace is separate from the 751 place you're talking about?
So it's all one campus.
Okay.
It's all one building.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to, it's like you can imagine an umbrella, and it's all Upcycle campus, and then under that umbrella is sort of three components: the Makerspace, the thrift store, and the Zero Waste program.
Okay.
But we all work together.
Yeah.
And we're all working together physically all day during the day together, but also working together on the mission and making sure that we're collaborating in that way.
Cool.
So but we're all housed in the same facility. And so like if you wanted to donate film plastic, for example, you could bring it to the door of either the thrift store or the Makerspace because we share those resources and we work together in that way.
Awesome.
But we are technically separate businesses, the thrift store and the Makerspace. Mm-hmm. It's a little hard to wrap your head around at first. Also within the Makerspace is some really cool workshops. So we have a metal shop, a full wood shop, a fabric shop, a tech room, and we're working on lifting up a screen printing shop as well.
Is that where the Upcycle stuff is going? Or this is just people like, okay, it is.
Yeah. So this is equipment that is available in the space. People can buy memberships to use it. We also teach classes in the space.
Who teaches this? Like, how do you find a teacher for this?
So it varies.
Yeah.
Lots of volunteers. Like
Cool.
the Makerspace only exists because of this community aspect. And so it's in the name, but it's in the heart of it too, because like we can't do anything without the community, and it's so cool. That's one of my favorite parts of the job, is seeing community members that, so one example, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Community members that maybe teach themselves something. So I had a community member that taught herself how to change the grease and gaskets in her KitchenAid mixer. And she was so excited that she taught herself how to do this. She and her friends started doing it together, and then she thought, like, it would be really cool to share this with other people. And so we did a series of these KitchenAid mixer repair classes. I think we probably had to have been about 40 people.
Wow, that's
Bring their mixers
Wow.
over a series of classes, and really dug in there. And it was so cool to see people that had never attempted something like this before, didn't know they could do it, and then to build a skill, and then to see how that really like liberates a person.
Like proves them wrong. Yes, it's like the
Yeah.
most empowering thing ever.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, oh, I can do this, I can do. Maybe I can
Damn
do that.
right, yeah.
I can do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And so that's really like the spirit of the Makerspace, and I see that in real life every day.
That's
It's like
beautiful.
it's so inspiring
Yeah.
to just be in there and see even my team members that that are working with us. You know, they are all the time teaching themselves things and teaching each other things and sharing and learning, and it's just the coolest vibe to be a part of. And yeah, just it's so inspiring, and I've taught myself some things just because of that inspiration. And so
Yeah.
that's really what the Makerspace is all about, is sort of like creating space for that, and creating the inspiration, allowing the space for the inspiration to occur.
Yeah.
Just like allowing a space for community members to come together, to share, to collaborate, to learn together.
So is there like a
It's a beautiful
constraint?
thing.
Like, so this lady's like, hey, I learned how to do this, and I
Yeah.
wanted to share this. Like, did she approach you and be like, this is something I want to do? Like, 'cause somebody in the community right now that has a skill, like, how did
Yeah.
they come to you and start a workshop to share that?
Yeah, so all the time I have new people come in and say, hey, I would love to teach stained glass, or I would
Awesome.
love to
Oh.
teach how to weld, or I make this cool project. Do you want me to teach people how to do it?
Yeah.
And literally just come to me, email me, come to the space and tell us what you want to do, and we can get you set up. And so, you know, we pay teachers. I think that the skills that we hold are so valuable, and I love to be able to compensate for that when we can and when people want to.
Where's that money coming? Is that from like
Folks
the thrift
also
store?
volunteer.
Or like, where's that
So
money coming from?
usually if folks want to be paid for the class, then I just build that into the event registration.
Okay. Yeah.
So we do offer quite a few free classes. I love to have just like group gathering times. You know, for example, in June we have just like an open social mending time where people can just come bring their mending project, just work on it together. Like I said, be inspired by each other's skills and techniques. And so I really like to have just like open times for folks to come and just create together. We also have monthly events called Community Make It Day, which is where we pick a project and we coordinate with an organization in town or a group that is in need, and we create a project and then we donate it back to the community. So for example, we were over the winter, we worked with a couple of volunteers, and we were able to create 1,300 reusable menstrual pads that got donated to Ukraine, which was really incredible.
Who came up with that?
be a
Was
part
that
of.
again, just like coming out of the
They
ether?
came to us.
Nice.
They
That's
came
cool.
to us with the project idea,
Wow.
and we were able to help with that.
That's awesome.
And then just recently, we worked with Community Food Initiatives to create some planter bags for their community gardens. And we were also creating upcycled fabric bookmarks. They're like corner bookmarks, and we are donating those to the library and
Cool.
also to some nursing homes in town.
Yes.
And our most current project that we're working on for Community Make It Day next month will be these, they're sort of like bags that hang on the front of a walker. So it has like pockets and things like that. So
Nice.
my team recently is feeling really motivated and inspired to work with our senior population. And we've developed a mobile mending kit. So it's a sewing machine with like a toolbox that has thread and fabric and buttons and all the things, plus some directions and QR codes on how to do it. And that kit, the mobile mending kit, has circulated through the public libraries through the winter. But we would like to expand that and start placing it in some of the nursing homes, some of the senior centers around town, because the idea is that not everybody can get to the makerspace. And so kind of like taking that resource to the community so that they can access it and, you know, fix their things or just work on something that brings them joy without having to physically come to our space, which can be a limiting factor for some people.
Yeah. So you said my team. How many people from or is it just Rural Action people that are involved with this space? Like how many people?
I'm so glad you asked that. So at the Makerspace, we have a couple of permanent team members that work for Rural Action. And then we also have team members that are with us for a time period, for like a season, for example. And they are typically coming to us through our workforce development program. And so these are folks that have identified barriers into the workforce for could be all sorts of reasons, right? And those folks apply and they work with us just like any of our other team members, but it is for a temporary time period, usually 6 months.
Okay.
And it provides an employment opportunity for them to build skills. We provide training opportunities and the flexibility that's needed for them to re-enter the workforce and hopefully provide an opportunity for them to find other meaningful work afterwards.
Yeah, so it is more than Rural Action. Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Those are federally funded grant programs.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that that continues into the future.
Yeah.
Because it's been a really impactful program. And I've seen that myself just in the folks that have come to work in the Makerspace. You know, I've seen some really incredible outcomes from that, including one of our newest team members got hired onto a permanent position with us after being in the workforce development program.
Cool.
And it's just been really, really cool to kind of see how folks are coming to us. So another cool example and success story is we have local groups that come and just use our space like a meeting space. Every month, one of them is integrated services. And one of the counselors there brings her group of folks once a month, and they work on creative projects, usually self-guided, but we provide an opportunity. Usually, you know, we'll say, here's an idea for a project, or they can kind of explore on their own.
Yeah.
And we've had at least 2 people, I'm going to correct myself, 3 people that started just coming to that group in the counseling setting. And enjoyed it so much, and then were able to apply for our workforce development positions and got jobs with us. And just to see how that, just being in the space, how that impacted their life in such a positive way has been huge for me personally, but also I think it's really proven the value of the program. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. How did you get involved with this? Were you involved with Rural Action first, and then or like were you with Rural Action before this? How long has this thing been around?
Thanks for asking. So, the Community Makerspace, Rural Action, and 6 other partner organizations acquired the Makerspace in 2020. I started with the Makerspace about 2 years ago. Prior to that, in 2014, I was an AmeriCorps member with Rural Action. I did 2 terms of AmeriCorps service, which I cannot...
You mean a term? How long is that?
A year.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So 2 1-year terms, so 2 years with Rural Action. And I was with their zero waste program, actually. So I was doing educational programs in the schools, teaching about composting and recycling and things like that, but also working at local events like Nelsonville Music Festival and Pawpaw, sorting trash and stuff.
Oh, wait, I saw there's a Pawpaw last year, like the zero waste. Yeah, I did see this.
Yes.
Wow, cool.
And I always say after that experience, like, everybody should have to sort trash once in their life. Truly, because it totally changes your perspective on like the fact that almost everything is throwaway. And so like I'm looking right now, there's some packaging on your shelf and it's like packaging on packaging on packaging, and I'm not calling you out. It's just how it is.
Well, I mean, it's like you buy things and it's like in a sealed like vacuum sealed bag in a box, in a box wrapped in paper from, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so that opportunity to be a part of AmeriCorps was life-changing for me. Yeah. It completely changed my trajectory in life, I think. It opened my eyes to the work that was being done in this community by Rural Action and other organizations, but specifically the work that Rural Action is doing to restore our streams here, the water quality, and it illuminated to me some of the challenges, but also the innumerable opportunities here. And one of them being the people, like the network that's here, the community that's here there's nothing like it anywhere else. It's incredible. And I was telling you before this, I'm a business owner as well. And I always say, and same for the Community Makerspace, things like this can't survive in other places because the people here support it and want it. And I'm so fortunate to be a part of the business community here and really see how dedicated so many of us are to each other, just to creating a vibrant community here, and knowing that things like the Makerspace and AceNet and Community Food Initiatives and Rural Action and all the businesses that make this fabric so bright, that it's just, there's nothing else like it. Yeah.
Well, so what is Athens doing right? Yeah. Like, is it, are they engaged? Or do they truly care about each other? Like, what is it that makes, like, that brings the sense of community? Because you say that and it's such a wide spread, like, aiming word, you know?
Yeah. Well, I felt it really strongly my first farmer's market when we were selling our, at that time, produce. We hadn't started making hot sauce yet. But we made the decision in December of 2020 to start our farm business. And, you know, it was kind of scary, especially because my partner only farms. And so, you know, and we have 2 kids. And so, you know, it was a leap, financially and all the rest. And so, but to show up in April at our first farmer's market and to have people buy our stuff and then come back week after week and still be the same customers that I saw that day. It's like when they find you, they will keep showing up for you. Yeah. And I think that's what it's all about, is like the people here just show up and like they mean it, and like they put their money where their mouth is, and they invest in the things that they care about. And it creates that ripple effect, because when you feel that, you want to do it too. Yeah. And so
it's a cyclical thing. Yeah. That's so beautiful.
And so I think it creates a culture here of support and love and just like seeing each other, you know? Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah, love Athens too. Wow. Well, what's exciting? What's coming up with the Community Makerspace? You said you already had the June month event. You have something coming up in July. What about like how long would it take somebody to to like kind of schedule a workshop? Do you like kind of market it like in advance or?
Yeah, monthly. So we try to create our calendar a month in advance. Some bigger events we schedule a little further out. So something really fun coming up this weekend is Upcycle Fest. I'm not sure when this will air.
Today.
But, is it live?
What is it?
Are we live?
I mean, it's, no, but
okay,
yeah.
Cool. Today, cool. So then people will have a chance to hear about Upcycle Fest, which is happening on Saturday.
Perfect. Where at?
At Upcycle Campus, so at 751 West Union Street. We will have vendors who will have all their upcycled art. We will have lots of upcycled craft demonstrations and ways for folks to use our spaces and kind of get introduced to that. And yeah, it's just a celebration of all things upcycled and kind of like I said, sort of creating that spirit and celebrating that. And Appalachian folks are really great innovators and are really good at using what we have.
Yeah.
And so it's a celebration of that.
That's awesome.
And then in the fall, we will celebrate our 5th year anniversary. Right. So we're excited about that. That'll be in September. And then we're really excited that we have 2 weeks of summer camp coming up.
What does that entail?
Yeah, so we have it's 2 separate weeks. First week is for 8 to 11-year-olds. Second week is for 12 plus. And it's just a week of skill building, learning. So we do ancient skills and modern skills. So
ancient, like basket weaving? Or
yes, basket weaving, fire building, things like that. Using a bow drill. We're going to do some mapping, some compass reading.
So who's teaching all these classes? Just people in the community?
This is the environmental ed program, environmental education from Rural Action. They help us with that portion.
Cool.
But then we'll also have the opportunity for folks to learn about laser engraving and 3D printing, and we're going to do some clay work and collaging and all sorts of fun things like that. And so it is for youth. And shout out to the Rocky Community Improvement Fund for supporting this program this year.
The Rocky Community Improvement Fund.
Yes.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Rocky Community Improvement Fund allowed us to expand. Last year we did our first week of summer camp. This year we expanded it to 2 weeks thanks to the fund that we received. And so yeah, kids will be able to learn all sorts of really cool skills, try out like the different shops we have and the skills that are involved in that. And it'll be really fun. 1 week in June, 1 week in July. Nice. It'll be awesome.
The week in June, when is the week in June? I feel it's June right now. Shit.
Yeah, June 23rd.
Okay, so like towards the end.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then July 7th.
Cool.
And we do have just a couple spots open left for those. Those are almost full.
Awesome. And where could somebody go? Is there a website or is there just social media? Or?
Yeah, so we have a website, of course, social media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at the Community Makerspace. And then there's a link on our website to our Eventbrite page, and that's where you would register for all of our classes, and you can see what's going on for the month.
And what's even upcoming. Cool.
Yeah. So Community Makerspace is just a very inspiring, awesome community resource. I always tell people it's like there are so few places in the world that you can just go and hang out and not have to buy something. And the Community Makerspace is one of those. Yeah. Like there are opportunities to just come and hang out and be with people that want to create things and are inspired in the same way you are. And so that's really cool. Yeah, the only other couple places like that, I mean, like community center, library, and then the Makerspace. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it's all about. It's a very cool community resource. Yeah.
So. If you got everything you wanted, like what is a perfect storm for you? Like is it just money? Do you just need money to do more? Do you need more people to facilitate more classes? Like just thought experiment. If you got everything you wanted to be the perfect community makerspace, what does that look like for you?
Oh, that's such a good question. Money helps, right? Money helps because then we can do all the things and we can hire more people. And that's really what we want to do is create more jobs for folks that want to explore their own entrepreneurship or they want to explore jobs with us. Yeah. And so funding is always helpful. And I think that's the main thing. As far as if we could wave a magic wand, that would solve, I don't know.
Money problems, yeah.
Many of the money problems. But, I think in the future, I can't wait to see the Makerspace expand and the Upcycle campus into a really thriving center for hard-to-recycle materials, but also really leaning into, like, upcycled product creation. So using the resources that we get in and recreating them or reworking them into something new and valuable. One really cool project that we're working on right now, kind of in relation to that, is it's called the ACE project. Accelerating the Circular Economy is what the acronym is for. And that is in collaboration with Ohio University and Ohio Health. And we are working to collect sterilization wrap. It's a blue material, so we also call it blue wrap. And it is a wrap that they wrap surgical instruments in and sterilize them. So this material, it's kind of like a plasticky fabric, sort of. It gets wrapped, the instruments are wrapped, put in the sterilization chamber, taken out. The wrap is thrown in the trash, and the instruments are sent into the room. So it never sees a patient. It's sterilized, and it is thrown to the trash. It makes up about 20% of America's hospital waste.
Whoa, just this, wow.
Yes, across the nation. And there's really no real good way to recycle it or reuse it. Because we are rural and we have challenges around this in all sectors, food, waste, all the rest. But because we're rural, we don't have a lot of pickup opportunities for this. Like, there are no other organizations that have a use for this material and that will come and get it. So it goes to the trash. It goes to our local landfill in Nelsonville, in fact.
Coplanus and stuff you're saying, like
yeah.
Holzer.
Yeah. So this material, we have been working with Ohio Health and OU to collect that material, take it back to the Makerspace, and we're repurposing it and creating bags with it, like reusable shopping bags. We're also working on a couple of other product development ideas, like sandbags, and we've thought about like how we might shred it into a different product. But right now we're focused on creating reusable bags that we're screen printing with designs.
Oh, it goes back to the screen printing thing you were talking about. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And so we've got several local businesses and organizations that have expressed interest in the bags already, especially because they're locally made and not subject to tariff. And so it's been a really cool project to kind of like, that's what this work is all about, is to like see a problem, to see a waste, to say like, that is a resource. It is a material that we have in this community right now. Mm-hmm. And we can either throw it into the landfill in Nelsonville, or we can do something with it. We can create jobs with it, and we can make something new out of it so that it doesn't go to the landfill. Yeah. And so it is a really simple project to look at and see, like, this is how we create a circular economy, by taking a resource that's already here and keeping it here, and generating economic benefit simultaneously. Yeah. So we have 2 part-time team members that work just on this project.
Like recycling that stuff and making the bags or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And thank you to the Sugar Bush Foundation. We did receive 3 more years of funding to continue doing the project.
Sugar Bush Foundation.
Yeah, Sugar Bush Foundation. We started this year was just like a pilot to see, can we do this? And we proved that we can. Cool. And they said, cool, then let's do it for 3 more years. So we're excited for that. But yeah, that's what my work is focused on, and that's really what like the mission of Real Action and this social enterprise in particular is focused on, is sort of like looking at the resource we have and thinking about how do we
do with it,
do something better with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's so entrepreneurial. It's like what all I can do is what I can with what I've got. You know? Like that's so like okay, so the material for like these tote bags coming from the hospitals, like where are you getting like are you from the zero waste thing? Like is that where you're getting some of these upcycle materials? Like where are you getting wood and metal and things like that for like these upcycle projects?
Yeah, it's donated.
Okay.
Yeah. So folks that are finished with the project and they don't need the material, or maybe they thought they were going to get to it and they didn't. So it's all of that, but all donated.
Yeah, that's really good.
And that's sort of the beauty and also the challenge of it is that we're working to create a unified product line out of a non-unified resource.
Input of materials.
Yeah. So it's always different. Always
the bags.
changing.
That's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really excited too about personally to do some mosaic work with tea sets. We get that is something we get so much of is dishware, tea sets, things like this, china dishes that people have acquired and they just don't need anymore. I think that's like universally a high input item for thrift stores is like dishware.
Yeah.
So we're thinking again creatively about how do we not just throw it away? What do we do with it? And so my team and I are working on mosaicing some tea sets into tables or jewelry, things like that.
That's cool. The stained glass thing, have you ever done that before? Is that like just that excites me? My girlfriend actually talked about maybe getting into stained glass. That's the only reason I'm like asking more questions.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have one scheduled for July.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I don't teach that, but we have somebody who's going to come in and teach that.
Cool.
And I believe we're going to make a stained glass mushroom.
Oh,
it's going to be really
cool.
fun.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Should come.
I'm sure Elena will be excited. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad we talked about the ACE project. That's a really fun and hugely impactful community project, I feel like.
Does that also stem from rural action, you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've already, since January, we've collected about 700 pounds of that blue wrap material.
That's a lot of tote bags. So then you're reselling those tote bags, and that's like kind of the like for-profit thing. It's like we're using the proceeds to continue the thing. If we make some money, that's great.
Exactly.
We can deploy it. If not,
exactly. Yeah, okay. It's a perfect illustration of the social enterprise ethos. Like we have to make money to continue doing the good work. Yeah. Right. So that's what it's about.
Nice.
Yeah.
So money, if you could financially donate, that would really help out. But also engage. Come to the classes. Come check them out. Come check out the thrift store.
Totally. Come to the classes. Come hang out with us. Just share your creative ideas. Stop in. We have a retail space too. So like I was saying, the craft supplies and things that are donated that we don't need for classes, we sell in the retail space. So come and check us out, especially since Joann's closed. People have really been enjoying coming and finding our yarn and our fabric selections and things like that. So as far as I know, like other than like I think we're kind of the only craft store now in town. So definitely come to us for that. But yeah, definitely come to classes. Share your inspiration with others, and or just come hang out with us and get inspired. Yeah,
awesome. And then again, social medias, Facebook, Instagram is at Community Makerspace. And then did you say there was a website?
Yes, there is a website. It's just upcycleohio.com.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate you so much sharing the story. This was exciting. Like you've had a smile the whole time. Like I could tell that you're passionate about this.
I really am. This is. It's true. You never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you're doing, and I believe that. I feel like every day I'm doing something that feels worthwhile, that feels like I'm able to contribute to my community, and even if it's just creating the space for community, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Wow,
thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being who you are. That's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.